What made you click on this video? Maybe you read the title and found it interesting enough to click on the video. The view count and the upload date might have had something to do with your decision. And while I would be flattered if you said you clicked on it because it was a TroyPM video, 9 times out of 10, you clicked on this video because of the thumbnail. A YouTube video's thumbnail may be the most important thing about a video. It's a gateway into your own world that you have built around your channel. It makes up about 75% of what a person sees on the recommended page, and is more likely than not the one and only time somebody may have a glimpse of you and your videos. You gotta make the most out of that first impression using a thumbnail that most people are probably just gonna scroll through, never to see again. This has made the art of making a thumbnail for a Geometry Dash YouTube video very complex. Over the years, many different types of thumbnail trends have been used by multiple people in this community. And in this video, I'm gonna be looking in the past and the present and seeing if these thumbnails were all that good or not, and why that was the case. By the way, what even makes a good YouTube thumbnail in general? The definition of what makes a good YouTube thumbnail will usually vary from person to person. Some people say that your thumbnail should focus on getting people to click on the video. Others say that a YouTube thumbnail should focus on what the video is about. I feel like both of these are good and acceptable answers, because at the end of the day, a good YouTube thumbnail should give you a good idea of what the video is going to be like before you click on the video. The video should influence the thumbnail. What is shown in the thumbnail should be things that the person is most likely going to see or think about in the video. If you have an unserious thumbnail, people aren't going to take the video seriously. If you have a pretty basic thumbnail, people are going to assume that the video is pretty basic as well. And if you have a bad thumbnail that doesn't get its points across well and isn't good to look at, then people are just not going to watch your video. But if you have a good thumbnail that not only gets across what the video is going to be about, but also does it in a clear and concise way, then it is a good YouTube video. I also believe that the title of the video has a good deal affecting how good the thumbnail is as well. Because if your thumbnail is able to catch the eye of somebody, then the next thing they'll look down to is the title. And if the title and the thumbnail don't match up, then they'll probably get confused and not want to watch the video. Some YouTubers I know like to say that if you confuse people in your title or thumbnail, that it will create intrigue about your video and make people want to watch it. And to all those people I know, I'm sorry to say this, but no, it doesn't. At least in my experience, it doesn't. It actually does just make people more confused about what your video is actually about. But yeah, make sure that the title has something to do with the thumbnail. And now to get into the real Papa's Pizzeria part of this video, because in this next part, I'm gonna tell you how to structure your thumbnails. But before all of that, let me talk about the sponsor of this video, my Discord server. If you ever want to talk to me or other people who enjoy my content and videos, then the first link in the description should be something you should click. Okay, I hope that was good enough advertisement. Anyways, until we do anything, you need to understand something. Thumbnails have layers, multiple layers, that eventually get stacked on top of each other whenever being exported into a PNG. So for our YouTube thumbnail to be good, we have to account for the layers. And the most important layer is this red one. This stands for the stuff that YouTube puts on top of your thumbnail whenever you upload it onto the website, aka the general vicinity of the timestamp and those ugly ass rounded edges that YouTube for some reason started forcing onto their website. Like, please, is there some Chrome extension to get rid of this? Pretty much don't put anything too important to your video in any of the corners of the thumbnail and you'll be fine. Next is the subject of your video. This should usually be the very bottom layer of your thumbnail so that you can put more stuff on top of it. I'd say that this layer should take up at least 50% of the thumbnail area. Any less than that and it is no longer the subject of the video. Next up is what I like to call subject squared. These are the things that you put on top of the subject in order to add some needed context or meaning to the thumbnail. Let's say you made a video called The History of Geometry Dash. You wouldn't use this screenshot of the game as the whole thumbnail, right? No! You need to at least add some text saying The History of Geometry Dash. And you should add as much as is needed for the thumbnail to make sense, so long as whatever you add on top of the subject doesn't cover it up entirely. Finally is the branding of the thumbnail. What is branding, you might ask? Well, it's something simple in the thumbnail that will help people identify that the video was made by you. This could be something as simple as a logo, the YouTuber's Geometry Dash icons, or more likely than not, the YouTuber's face. This is completely optional though, and while adding yourself into thumbnails helps with attracting reoccurring viewers to a new video, that only happens after a long time of consistently inserting your face into a thumbnail. Also, your branding could drive away some potential new viewers away from your videos if your branding isn't recognizable to them yet. Let's take for example Aeon Air. Out of some of his more recent videos, 2 of them have gotten over 100,000 views, which is pretty insane considering that his average amount of views on a video before and after these videos were anywhere between 15,000 and 50,000 views. And it just so happened that these videos were the only ones whose thumbnails didn't have his face in it. Another cool thing about branding is that if you use the same thumbnail style enough, eventually that style of thumbnail will become your branding, just like in Summoning Salt's case. Summoning Salt is a popular YouTuber who makes documentary videos on speedrunning. Pretty much for his whole career, his thumbnails have consisted of a picture of the game's logo, or instead a screenshot of a speedrun from said game, and then some added text in the exact same font restating the title of the video. This style of thumbnail became so iconic that if you saw it, you would immediately associate it with a Summoning Salt video. Of course, the only problem being that a few people might try to copy this branded type of thumbnail in order to leech views off of the person who's more popular than them. But most of the time, the viewer could just look down and see who actually uploaded the video and then choose the one they want to watch. Okay, so we know how to make a thumbnail now. Subject of the video, square it if needed, brand it if you want to, nothing in the corners. This should also be a good time to experiment with how your thumbnails look. Try out different structuring, find a unique way to brand yourself, blast it with graphic effects. Whatever can make the thumbnail a good projection of the video, you should add to the thumbnail. Over years of experimentation, people have discovered certain ways to design their thumbnails. And now I'm gonna look at some of these thumbnails and the types of videos that are paired with them, and see if the thumbnails are effective at displaying everything that is shown in the video and doing it in a clear and concise way. Starting off with probably the most common type of thumbnail on the website, auto-generated thumbnails. These thumbnails are auto-generated by YouTube itself. It just takes screenshots of whatever happens in the video and gives you 3 options to choose from to be your thumbnail. I believe that the best type of these videos to use these thumbnails for are completion videos. Some of the most popular videos of Geometry Dash are just completions of main levels that use an auto-generated thumbnail as the thumbnail. It's straightforward, to the point, hard to make clickbait out of, yet can be a little basic and repetitive. And it also might auto-generate a thumbnail that isn't what you want to focus on in the video. I'll give it a C+. Oh yeah, I am gonna be ranking these, just thought you should know. But what if we do that same idea, take a screenshot of a specific part of the level, then zoom in and tilt the image to give it this cool effect? Tilted thumbnails are what I like to call these. To be honest, they aren't that different from the former, except you get a lot more freedom choosing what part of the level you want to show off in the thumbnail. The only problem with these thumbnails is that they're really easy to clickbait. Let's take a look at this example level I just made and see how we could clickbait it using one of these thumbnails. Okay, so it's a pretty simple challenge level. 2 triple spikes followed by a hard wave click, then followed by 2 more triple spikes. Pretty easy. Only took me at most 4 minutes to verify it. Well, let's go into our thumbnail maker 9000, zoom in on the hard wave click, tilt it a little bit, and boom. People now think this level is a wave challenge that has a lot of hard wave clicks in it. Fortunately, this doesn't happen all the time, and most of the time the thumbnail shows off what is actually shown in the level pretty fine. B- for this type of thumbnail. Another type of thumbnail most commonly used in completion or showcase videos are GFX thumbnails. These thumbnails are those thumbnails where they absolutely just blast as much glow and fire and extra stuff as possible into one thumbnail, as well as adding the title of the level and a pretty cool font. Honestly, I like these thumbnails. They are most reserved for verifications of some of the hardest levels in the game, which makes sense because if they got put onto the demon list or something like that, the thumbnail has to be a great representation of what the level actually looks like. And most of the time, these thumbnails succeed at doing that. Other times, however, though, it doesn't. You usually see these thumbnails approach the joking side of things whenever they're used for showcase videos. Mostly because showcase videos of a level are just like the verification of a level, but just in 4K, so I can understand that. Still, that knocks down what was gonna be a B+ thumbnail down to a B. They're still pretty good if you use them correctly. Probably one of the most famous types of Geometry Dash thumbnails are the Geometry Dash background thumbnails. One of the things that makes Geometry Dash so recognizable that most people don't even notice are the backgrounds used throughout the menus and levels in the game. There is no way to change the backgrounds for the menus and levels without use of a texture pack. So over many years of the game existing, these backgrounds have become so synonymous with the game that even just showing you a specific color gradient will get you thinking about Geometry Dash. Many YouTubers have used this to their advantage, and use many different backgrounds from the game in their thumbnails. And to me at least, they are very hit or miss. For example, let's take a look at GD Colin's thumbnails. He's been using these types of thumbnails for so long that they've pretty much been branded to his channel. I mean, let's take a look at this video. Okay, so the title of this video is 100 Annoying Things About Geometry Dash. So what does he do for the thumbnail? Green Geometry Dash background, insane face which could be associated with an angry or annoyed expression, text that restates the title, boom, done, 6.8 million views. But now let's take a look at somebody like Stormfly's attempt at one of these thumbnails. Okay, so GD menu background, mod and elder mod badges, and Boris Johnson. Huh? Why is he there? I know he used to be the Prime Minister in the UK. Maybe this specific picture of him could tell Europeans something about the video, but I live in America, far, far away from the Sweden that Stormfly resigns. So I have no idea what this video could ever be about until I look down and see that he's complaining about the rating system. There are obviously some that work, others that don't. Overall, it's a B+ for me. Okay, those might be cool and all, but what if you went out of your way to stick your face in that thumbnail? Face thumbnails are a pretty common type of thumbnail in the grand scheme of YouTube. And of course, they have found their way over to the Geometry Dash YouTube community. I kinda rambled on about these thumbnails in the branding part of this video, so I'm just gonna add more on to what I already said in that part of that video. Faces are a very personal thing in general. Everyone has a unique one, which means it only makes sense for you to add your face in the thumbnails of videos where your face is there throughout the entire video. It doesn't make sense to have your face in the thumbnail, then not really show yourself in the video at all. Another thing to understand about face thumbnails is that it really only attracts people who are already fans of your video and not necessarily bring in new viewers. This means that it wouldn't make a lot of sense for you to start adding your face into the thumbnails of your videos if you hadn't grown a fan base that is used to seeing your face in your thumbnails. This also means that the only way you could bring in new viewers consistently is if your face is already recognizable to them. That's the reason why it's so easy for new Geometry Dash YouTube viewers to get into Nepesta's videos, just because of the sheer amount of memes and viral clips he's been in. When they stumble on his channel for the first time, they probably think, wait, is that one guy who screamed really loud that one time? And have their suspicions confirmed whenever they watch his videos. The thumbnails in general aren't really that bad. They usually follow the exact same template that these thumbnails have done for literally the entire time they've been on this website. A for how iconic these are, but they can be a little basic from time to time. Now, I've been giving all these thumbnails pretty fair ratings, which makes sense. People wouldn't use these types of thumbnails if they didn't work or didn't look any good. But there's one type of thumbnail that I see so often that genuinely makes me mad. One that honestly makes me question why I even bother with this whole YouTube thing in the first place. What do I like to call these horrible thumbnails, you might ask? Well, I usually call them shit. Their more appropriate name is Twitter thumbnails. I hate these thumbnails. I hate them so much. I was planning on making a whole video on them entirely, but because that video idea ended up falling flat, I'll just get out all my grievances here. These thumbnails exemplify everything I hate about Geometry Dash YouTube nowadays. Just a musky stench of people not trying anymore, and people only caring about what the algorithm wants to see rather than what people want to see. Okay, so you might be thinking, Troy, why do you hate these thumbnails so much? They are so infuriatingly basic. Remember how earlier I was talking about how thumbnails are supposed to be very unique, something that represents you and your videos? These thumbnails represent nothing. They're all so basic and similar, you can't tell anything about the video beforehand just by looking at the thumbnail except for what the video is going to be about. But didn't you say that earlier about how that is what it takes to make a thumbnail? Yes, I might have said that, but it is not what I meant. While you need to know what the video is about, you should also know what the video is going to look like. Face in the thumbnail equals face in the video. Background thumbnail equals some commentary video. Tilted level equals a completion video. Tweet as thumbnail? I don't know. It could be any type of video under that thumbnail. Let's take a look at this Aeon video talking about how Geometry Dash got removed from the Google Play Store. Just 5 minutes of his face speaking. Okay, now let's take a look at this Vortrox 2 video with the exact same thumbnail, and it's a minute-long no-face commentary video. A poorly made one at that. Like, come on, Vortrox, video editor to video editor here. You spent at most 45 minutes on this video. And if you think that sounds like a lot of effort, it took me 45 minutes to make the seconds of footage that you are seeing now. Shut the fuck up. How about this thumbnail? 2.2 is now out from RobTop. Well, I can't wait for a bad commentary video all about it. Oh, wait, it's a Junie Goes to Camp style skit video about 2.2, except it's not cringy because the jokes are dated. It's cringy because the jokes just aren't funny. You get what I'm getting at here. They are so basic and so unoriginal, just so interchangeable with each other that they are equivalent to an all-white thumbnail with text in Comic Sans saying, hey, this is what the video is about. Watch it. And, you know, that's probably better than this shit. Because at least there was the littlest, tiniest amount of human input from the YouTuber to make this thumbnail compared to this robotic trash. And oh, no, they faked the tweets. Oh, yeah, you can tell just because every Geometry Dash player on Twitter is verified. Did you know that if you say you play Geometry Dash on Twitter that you instantly get verified? It's pretty cool. Wait, where are we? Oh, God! Okay, you mean to tell me that I've spent the last year of my life making Geometry Dash commentary videos on a monthly basis, well-edited, long-form videos, sacrificing my grades, my friends, my sanity to do so. Then Cobb, you know Cobb, the guy who already has a channel with over 50,000 subscribers, makes an alt account, uploads videos that take him at most a day to make, maybe at most 12 hours, slaps a Twitter thumbnail on them, and then gets 3 times the amount of my subs. Like, nope, I can't, I'm done, I'm quitting, bye. Okay, you know what? I'm not quitting because I want to complain some more. What the fuck? I should not be taking this that seriously. I think I'm done for today. I know that I didn't go too in depth about every single type of GD thumbnail out there, but I think I went over most of the broad stuff. Pretty much every other thumbnail is a variant of the ones that I talked about, with their own little quirks and differences to set them apart from the others. Now, does this mean I'm gonna make a part 2 where I go more into depth about every single type of GD thumbnail? Probably not. I don't know if you've noticed this, but I don't like to do part 2s on this channel. But maybe, if this video does well and I get a lot of requests to do so, I might do a part 2. Might. Also, if you're a YouTuber whose thumbnails I brought up or used as an example in this video, then hi. Nice to meet ya. Please don't take what I said too seriously. I'm sure that all of you are very nice people who are just trying to make somebody's day better with your videos, but I just don't like your thumbnails. Plus, you probably have enough views and subscribers to not give a fuck about anything I said about your thumbnails in this video, because that means I'm doing something wrong. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video. I will see you guys pretty soon. Bye. Also, remember to join the Discord server. Link is in the description.